Recently on the channel, I've been playing Pokemon Violet using teams of a certain theme, such as an animal like cats, or objects such as food. But now the time has come to see if we can beat Pokemon, but with mice or rodents. As always, I'm slapping on extra rules to make this run more spicy, so comment down below if you think I'm going to be able to beat this challenge, or I get eaten by the cats. Last but not least, 95% of you guys are still not subscribed. We're aiming for 20k by the end of the year, and it would mean the world to me that if you guys enjoy what you see, to hit the subscribe button and ding on the notification bell. With that said, let's get gaming. To start, I give myself a cunning name for this challenge, Pipsqueak. And this abomination of a character looks perfect to me. Disgusting! After eating some lovely cheese for breakfast, we can pick our first starter. But there's already a problem. Cat! Run away! But there's another. We cannot choose any of these starters because there are no mice. Except for one. This is going to replace Coco, and just a little further into the game, from chasing cats and dogs away to getting robbed by a lizard and battling against boys who get ditched in the street. Sorry, Arvin. We arrive at the Pokemon Center. From there, I unlock the ability to link and to also surprise trade with Pokemon trainers across the world. Luckily, one of my subscribers from the Discord server was able to help with this challenge and send over our first mouse, who is named Cinder. And it's no brainer as to why I did. We were able to start our run. Nemona chose the cat at the start, so I already know I'm in for a bad time. But thankfully, Cinder takes it down with 2 embers, but she already has a second member, and has the biggest idea growing on top of its head. By electrocuting me. We survive thankfully and take it down, allowing us to press on. We arrive in Mizagoza, where the world is my oyster with the tasty food available to steal. And it's safe to say, I may have closed all the food stores, leaving only Team Star to mess with. Our friend gives us the Terror Orb to terrastallize, but I won't be using it in this run, just like all my previous videos. And we fight like we don't need the orb anyways, giving them a healthy dose of rat poison. What's your dream goal? Honestly, I just want to collect as much cheese as possible. Arvin will be my best friend, being such a foodie, but once we can go on independent study, we need to travel the region in level cap order. So first was Cortondo, which hopefully with a fire mouse, they should be good to roast all the bugs. I'm Katie, the town's baker for treats. Oh great, another victim. I can get loads of sweets and treats and feed everyone nothing but droppings, which means I can have all the food to myself. She starts with Nimble and outspeeds with double kick. We hit hard with Ember, followed by a quick attack, taking it down. Next was Tarantula, who also outspeeds and chips with a couple of assurances. We do manage to take it down, but we don't have much health to spare when Teddiursa comes out to play and finishes us off with Fury Swipes. I said this way too soon. However, on the next try, and being a tiny bit stronger, we're quick enough to deal with Nimble and have more HP after Tarantula, but the bear decides to swipe a lot, and we lost again.
Eventually.
I bet you that's still not enough. Yep, great. Eventually, I managed to outspeed Nimble and Tarantula and survive Teddiursa's annoying Fury Swipe sweep, meaning one Blaze Ember was enough to take it down. I'm surprised it gave me that much trouble, but here we are, with Cinder also evolving to Quilava. I'm off to spew some rat poo in her cakes. Sure it was tough, you joker. I'm telling you, her bear is no joke, it can grow bug antennas. Before we make haste to our first Titan, we're off to find our second squad member. I think people would hate me if I didn't go for this one, so I catch a Pikachu named Kaminari, Japanese for thunder, before heading east to take on the Stony Cliff Titan Quarth. This guy is pure rock type, so with the help of double kicks from Cinder, we were able to swiftly take it down. And trust me, going from one horrible gym battle we had to this was music to my ears. No, you can't have it. It's got rat poison on it.
A few moments later.
Oh, fine. With our bike receiving an upgrade, we were straight towards the next gym. We arrive in Artisan for the grass type gym challenge, where although we push to find all of the Sunflora, I spit on them with rodent poison anyway, and they all turn to stone. However, the gym leader finds that his dead nature is artistic and takes us on. He starts with Petalil, and I decide to send out Kaminari, who can set with a couple of nasty plots, and well, falls to Mega Drain. That didn't go to plan. So it's all up to Cinder against his team of 3. Thankfully, we sweep with a couple of embers, taking down Petalil as well as Smoliv, leaving only his tree. It terrastallizes the grass type, which works to our advantage. 2 embers gain it in the red. His speed is boosted twice by Trailblaze, so 1 quick attack later secures a knockout. We managed to easily sweep through and gain our next badge. So it's off to get not only our next squad member, but time to take on the next Titan. But our next member is a bit of a funny one, because its pre-evolved form is a mouse, but its evolution is a monkey. So I asked all you guys on Discord, which you can all join with the link down below in the description, on your thoughts, but also trade and battle other trainers such as yourself within the community. We came to the conclusion we are counting it for one particular reason, which we'll get onto further into the video. For now, we called our newest addition Strudel, Scribbles, and start to travel further west to get to our next Titan, being a big bird. Hopefully it's something Kaminari can handle. Oh my god, double crit! However, the second phase works differently because we can't heal this time. Although it attacks Arvin's Knackley instead, meaning we're clear to take down the big bird. I'm a rat and I'm not sure if I want to eat that. Next, we are on course for our first team star base, the Segan squad, and we do find this shiny thing. But I will not be using it just yet because just like in the anime,
Raichu evolved too fast, and it never learned the speed attacks it can only learn in the Pikachu stage.
So we press on to Giacomo's hideout. They specialize in dark types, so hopefully we will be able to take them on. The raid battle needs us to use a minimum of 3 Pokemon, so all my mice will be present during this battle. He starts with his chest piece, and Cinder is up first, a couple of kicks taking it down instantly. This only leaves his Starmobile, but this thing is tough, because not only this thing is bulky, but it can't be inflicted with any status moves. It uses Metal Sound, so I send out Kaminari and take the Snarl, then heal on the next turn with Draining Kiss, then switch again. And we constantly repeat this method. He does miss Metal Sound, so we continue to chip. However, his card does chip, taking down Scribbles as well as Cinder, leaving just Kaminari, but it takes us down to more Wicked Talks instead. So with this in mind, I bite the bullet and evolve Kaminari to Raichu, meaning we get a huge stat boost, but also access to some really good moves. So after learning Thunderbolt as well as EV training, we're finally ready. Once again, Pawniard goes down to a double kick, so the car remains. However, we instead reduce its defense when it intimidates before switching to Kaminari to dodge yet another Metal Sound, and hit Draining Kiss before switching back. We're now doing a lot more damage, and I continue to switch and heal with Draining Kiss until we manage to take it down. It's a bold strategy, risking it all, but we managed to get it low enough for Kaminari to... You are joking. How can you dodge when you're asleep? Our plan gets put to a halt when our electric mouse falls, but Scribbles is able to finish it off with a slash. That was extremely close. Next, we're back on the other side of Paldea, where we've got a big challenge to take on. Iono. She's the electric-type gym leader who has more squad members than I, and once her ace terrastallizes, it has no weakness. So I need a plan. But first things first, a mouse phone, and some new clothes. We can finally take on... Oh, hey girlie, let's battle! Let's not. I've infected the city with my poop. We take on the Mona, no problem, but my issue is actually over-leveling. So I teach Kaminari Surf, which we can hopefully use while Cinder is in the box. And luckily, we get through the challenge with little issue without over-leveling. I think I have the perfect plan for this, and start with Kaminari against Wattrel. I start setting up with nasty plots. This means my special attack is maxed out, and we can connect Draining Kisses to restore HP, followed by taking out Luxio and Bellibo out in one, leaving only her Miss Magius. We eat a Hex before sweeping her entire team. I was really nervous, but that was a really good plan. Our next stop was another Team Star boss, this time Mela, Queen of Fire, but this gives me the perfect opportunity to catch a Marill, the Aqua Mouse, specifically with the huge power ability, boosting its attack from a base 20 to 40. I called in Blue Cheese, and with the help of the community, I got a couple of egg moves. Eventually. Oh, great. We did run into a lot of issues, but eventually we got the moves. Belly Drum for our Aqua Mouse, and Extra Sensory for Cinder. And after further training, we were ready to take on the boss. She starts with her Torkoal, and I bring out my newest mouse member, Blue Cheese. I instantly go for the belly drum to max our attack, which defeats the purpose of drought. We barely hold on after flame wheel, and it just falls short, so we do fall. Luckily, I then go for an easy extra sensory from Cinder and return to sender, leaving only the car. We go for extra sensory until it screeches, but instead of physical, it goes for overheat. We get by the speed boost with quick attack and chip, so Kaminari eventually remains. I set with nasty plot and hit hard with surf, but it's not enough. This is going to be tougher than I thought. It was even worse on the second attempt, when it uses clear smog instead. I send out Kaminari instead and set up nasty plot before hitting hard with surf. However, her car is still able to easily sweep. I'm really struggling here, unsure of what to do. If I'm struggling to bring down one car, how am I supposed to beat the tougher trainers in the game? Thankfully, the rain has arrived, meaning drought cannot activate. What's also good is I don't have to use belly drum. We take the tortoise down with more health and with another member of our squad, but instead I go for 3 charms, so Blazing Talk doesn't do as much damage, followed by Aqua Tails until burn damage finishes us off. With the help of the rain, our little mouse nearly swept through this time around, but Kaminari was able to finally bring it down. This is gonna end like this? When you play with fire, Missy, you just burn.
She's a wolf in mouse clothing.
Thankfully, our next stop should be much easier. We're against this guy, and luckily for us, a special fire user is able to sweep through its defenses, so Cinder learns probably the most basic fire move going, and takes it down with a couple of embers. I don't even need Arven's help, but he makes us food, so guess what? I infect it as I nibble. It was about time I got somewhere after a difficult fight. Next we arrive in Cascarotha, and this should be a much easier gym. For this one, I shall be benching Cinder, plus the move coverage I have on the rest of the squad will come in handy. We arrive at the gym, but the leader runs away, meaning once again, we're off on a quest to catch up through the desert and to the market in Porto Marinada. Along the way, our scribbles evolve to Graphii, which even though the deck states it's a toxic monkey, the community says the eye teeth is rodent-like. So this rodent adjacent is an exception. For this challenge, all we have to do is infect the seaweed so everyone gets sick and thus wipe out all the restaurants in this town. No blue cheese, you cannot evolve. I won't be counting a zoo marrow because it's a natural rabbit, and I have a future challenge in mind when home is out. But for now, we take on the big browed chef, Kofu. He starts with the loser and I send out Scribbles out first to hit hard with Trailblaze. We also strike poison damage as well. One poison jab later takes it down. Next was Wolf Trio, and we are low on health, but we secure a critical poison jab, leaving only his Crabominable. It terrastallizes to pure water, and being physically bulky, it eats the super effective Trailblaze, meaning we fall to Crab Hammer. But I retaliate with Kaminari and take it down with one big Thunderbolt. With our 4th badge acquired, I'm pretty confident with this run so far. But next was the Tag Tree Thicket, and I am on the hunt for our next Pokemon. I decide on this doll, who represents a Pikachu, and representing the most famous mouse in the world, I called it Peekaboo. Peekaboo! Mario! Okay, I'll stop with the puns. Given my previous runs, I'm extremely nervous at how this will turn out to be, until I realized Scribbles can resist poison, so after teaching it Swords Dance, we were ready to go. He starts with Skuntank and fails Sucker Punches as we begin to set. We can then take it down to a simple acrobatics. Next was Revavroom, and we hit hard with Slash, but a Bulldoze slows us down so we eventually fall. I then send out Cinder, and Ember was again just short, so we take a lot of damage. We do prioritize with Quick Attack and manage to take it down. Next was Muck, and even though we flinch, Extra Sensory falls short, and we go down to Sludge Wave. Next up was Peekaboo, and we were able to get a free Swords Dance thanks to our Disguise ability, followed by Drain Punch to recover and take it out. This leaves only his big car. We take a huge spin out and retaliate with a couple of Shadow Claws. However, it's not enough, leaving only Kaminari, and it's a race against time from poison damage. But thankfully we just barely hold on, and one final move puts an end to the Starmobile. That was extremely close, but with another squad boss down, we're off to our next gym badge. Now with extra poisonous venom up our paws, we're off to the city of fine dining, Medali, where we ruin every guest's food with rat poison, but also wreak havoc in the gym. Will you stop trying to evolve? Thank you. And with Cinder can evolve to Typhlosion, and with that, we're ready. Larry uses normal types, and after smelling the right order in the kitchen, we're allowed to face him. Kamala was up first, so I start with Cinder, and now knowing Eruption hits hard. It makes us drowsy with Yawn, so I switch to Peekaboo, who can finish it with a simple Drain Punch. Next was the Dunsparce, so I set with a Swords Dance as it glares. It takes out my disguise, but I recover with a couple more Drain Punches, leaving only the Big Bird. It terrastallizes to pure normal type, so I can still hit Drain Punches, barely holding on, and taking down Staraptor. It was a pretty straightforward battle. That's a lot of food. It would be a shame if I had a bit of a nibble. After giving Larry Salmonella, as well as taking down Limona for chasing the mice, we can move on. But before we take on the next gym, there is one more encounter we can grab whilst we're in Medali, and it's this cute couple right here. I catch Tandemaus and call them M&M, short for Mickey and Minnie. Oh, and the chocolate as well. Have you ever tried them? Anyways, we climbed up the mountain, and the mouse couple started breeding. And after getting frostbite in my paws, we arrived in Montenevera, home of the Ghost-type gym leader. But this is home for double battles too, so I need to tread with caution. After carefully choosing my team, I'm on stage against a bad dog. She starts with her Mimikyu and Banette, and I choose Scribbles and M&M. Scribbles is the quickest squad member, so we use him to take down Mimikyu's disguise, followed by Shadow Claw from M&M. We were then able to take down Dead Pikachu on the second turn, and Banette just barely holds on. Houndstone is up next and does finish off Scribbles, but we take down Banette in retaliation. The problem is, she gets a stat boost when my eye falls, so she can hit harder against me. The lizard terrastallizes to Ghost, and we take down the dog. After setting up with Swords Dance, the two mice were able to tag team together and bring down Toxtricity, winning us yet another badge. But it's time to regroup with Arven in the desert once again to help on another Titan quest. This one in particular is from the future, so I know who to rely on. Cinder can hit extremely hard with Eruption, as long as it doesn't use Earthquake or something. Luckily it doesn't, and with the help of Arven's spicy peppers, we were able to take it down. That was insane, though the sandwich is still missing a little seasoning. We travel further down south to Alphanada to take on the Psychic type gym leader. However, Nemona once again stops us in our tracks and we have to battle her, though she was pretty straightforward. Although there remains one problem. Yep, I nearly overleveled, and I still haven't even got to the challenge, so I'm a little screwed. The gym challenge consists of a motion Zumba, I like to call it, and let's just say my mice family should be in the West End. They actually go red when they're angry! Eventually, we challenge the gym leader, and with a strong roster up her sleeve, I'm a little worried. She starts with Farigiraf, and I send out Scribbles and set up with Swords Dance, and barely hold on after Zen Headbutt, but a poison jab wasn't enough and we fall. Bad idea ran out. Luckily, Peekaboo retaliates and takes it down. Next was the Sparfra, and I set up another Swords Dance whilst my disguise is out, and after taking a big Shadow Ball, one Shadow Claw takes it out. Gardevoir comes out and instantly falls, so all that remains is Florges. It terrastallizes Psychic type, but I hit hard once again and show how much Venom can hurt, even if it's weak to Psychic. To be honest, I'm surprised you're not even afraid of rats. Our final gym challenge lies on the top of Glacido Mountain with Grusha and his ice types, but with the team I've made, I should be able to prevail with no problem. Although Blue Cheese still tries to evolve, which is a no, we do arrive at the top and compete in the Snowscape run, which is easy and fun enough, but Ice Mountains can take your life away just like that. Cinder is up first against Frostmoth, and being quad weak against Fire, we take it down. Next was Beartic, and another hard flamethrower takes it down in one. Even though Titan is more bulky, we eat the liquidation and finish it in two, leaving only Altaria, which terrastallizes to ice. Again, we hit hard, get the burn and dodge the hurricane, meaning we just had a lovely easy sweep. All 8 gym badges have now been acquired, but we're not ready to take on the league just yet. We still have 2 more star bosses to take care of, as well as the final Titan, so the most northern part of Paldea is our next stop. From there, the fairy type gym leader lies, so after setting on my 4, we're ready to take on Ortega. And let's just say, he's queasy about mice. He starts with a Zoomarl, and I send out Kaminari first and set up Nasty Plot to be able to sweep through the rest of the squad. We tank play rough, and Thunderbolt takes down the Aqua Rabbit in 1, but our mouse had other plans for the Pink Rabbit. Seriously? We go down, and I'm getting really unlucky, getting fully paralyzed for 2 turns and losing my biggest advantage. But after Peekaboo sets up 2 Swords Dances, we're able to start sweeping, taking Wigglytuff out, as well as Dashbum. This leaves only the Star Car, and Steel Roller hits really hard. We return with Shadow Claw, but we fall even with +4 attack. So it's all up to Cinder to avoid confusion and burn away, and only just take it down. Again, we got really unlucky there, but we're still pushing through. However, I think this next one might be a mouse's worst nightmare. Cat! Oh, it's a catfish. Still, catfish have been spotted eating mice before, but regardless, we take it down. But that's not the real Titan, because the real Titan is actually sushi. Something mice can stuff their cheeks on. 2 nasty plots and a couple of kisses later eventually get the fish rat poison and knocks it out. Oh man, it's still missing seasoning. At long last, we arrive at the bamboo forest to take on the toughest Team Star boss of them all, Eri. She uses fighting types, so all my fairy types and move coverage should help. I start with Mimikyu against her Toxicroak and set with Sword Dances, but we get poisoned. However, our attack should be good enough to start sweeping. Annihilate is next, and we thankfully outspeed and get a critical Shadow Claw, her big sweeper falling. Persimmon is next, and one play rough manages to knock it out. However, poison damage at this point does finish us off. And then send out Kaminari against Lucario and start setting up 2 nasty plots. Then gain my health back with Draining Kiss. This thankfully takes down the dog and we manage to outspeed the Starmobile, enabling us to get a swift and easy victory. And that's what happens when you fight mice. With my cunning plan to the rescue, Team Star have disbanded other than the big boss, but we still have some work to do if we're able to become the very best. And that starts here in the Pokemon League. 4 of the toughest trainers collect here in this very building. We do have a little trouble with the interview scene as my fire mouse isn't even on the list, but we do manage to press on and take on the interviewer Rika. She's the queen of ground types. She starts with Wishcash and I bring out Eminem, who can hit a quad effective Grass Knot, but I didn't realize how light it was and it takes us down. But Peekaboo comes out and retaliates with Shadow Claw. Next was Camerupt, so I make the switch to Blue Cheese, though it triggers Yawn. Expecting Flash Cannon, I switch to Cinder, but it goes for Fire Blast, and then takes us out with Earthquake. Blue Cheese is then back out, and I then secure the Aqua Tail knockout. Donphan is up next, and avoids the Aqua Tail, so we fall to Poison Jab annoyingly. So Peekaboo is back out and sets up a Swords Dance. It takes out our Disguise, so I retaliate with Wood Hammer, taking it down in 1, as well as a Dugtrio. This leaves only her Clodsire, who terrastallizes to ground, but it's still no match for my Peekaboo. Though we do fall to Recoil, a rough start, but a win nonetheless. Next was Poppy, who specializes in Steelies and sends out Copperasia. Cinder is out first to get a swift lead with Flamethrower. Bronzong was up next, and another Flamethrower just falls short. We take the Earthquake and manage to bring it down. Carbonite is next, and was an easy Oko. I switched to Double Kick against Magnezone as it sets Light Screen, stolen out, but it paralyzes us, and we fall. So Kaminari is up next and sets up Nazi Plot before hitting hard with Surf. It barely survives yet again, but a second one finishes it off, leaving none other than Tinkaton. It terrastallizes the Steel type, so I go for one big Thunderbolt, which to my luck, survives and takes us down with Play Rough. And just by luck, Eminem falls to a critical Giganton Hammer, but Peekaboo is able to take it down. After poisoning Larry from the gym, he's out for revenge on my mice with his team of birds, which is scarier than cats in my opinion. Tropius is up first and just survives a Flamethrower as it sets up Sunny Day, meaning it can then outspeed and... The flinch? Seriously? I get flinched again and again. And to put the salt in the wound, I've had no shinies this run to give away, so I've been really unlucky this run. We take it down, and Staraptor intimidates, but thankfully being a special hitter, we have no issues to take it out. Oricorio is next, and we continue to sweep with more fire. Altaria comes out, and even with an extra sensory flinch, it's not enough and we fall. I send out Kaminari to set with Nasty Plot, finish and recover against Altaria, meaning his Flamigo remains. I set up one big bolt and we managed to take him down easily and feed Larry some more rat poison, killing him off completely. So last is the King of Dragons, Hassel, and he has a dangerous roster. But I have a lot of fairy types who can bypass the danger. I lead with Kaminari, expecting a quick Super Fang of Noivern. This means I can recover a little more, hold on long enough to take it down. My next was Dragalage and resist fairy type moves. So I switched to Scribbles and set up Swords Dance, tank the Dragon Pulse, and hit a huge acrobatics before sadly falling. However, Eminem is up next and gets revenge with Shadow Claw. Next was Flapple and just survives Play Rough, so once again we go down. Peekaboo is next and takes it down on the next turn. Haxorus comes out, and although Mole Breaker gets through my disguise, we still take it down to Play Rough, meaning we can hit hard against Baxcalibur and take down the biggest threat. With that, we crush the Elite Four, leaving only the champion. It's on the roof, and cats like being on roofs. I don't like this. What's the matter? You're not gonna let me fluster, ya? No, you're pathetic anyways. She starts with a Spar Threat, and I send out Cinder, Shadow Ball doing major damage, though it retaliates with Lumina Crush. We take it down on the next turn, and out comes Avalugg, Flamethrower hitting extremely hard and melting it away. We have a strong lead, but next was King Gambit, and just survives after Flamethrower, a critical Stone Edge, finishing our sweep. I then send out Scribbles and end its misery with an easy slash. Go-Go is next, and Poison Jab does major damage, as well as poisoning the goat. I set up Swords Dance and eat a huge Zen Headbutt, letting Poison take over, ready for the loser. But Aqua Jet changes my plan, so Kaminari is up. We set up Nasty Plot, eat Liquidation, and knock it out with a big Thunderbolt, leaving only her terrastallized Glimora. I go for a huge Surf, which leaves it hanging on the brink of death. We fall to Earth Power, but an easy Grass Knot from Eminem takes it down. It's all over. We just overthrown humans and Paldea and became King of Mice. No, you can't evolve. But it's not over yet, as we still have some work left. Next, we arrive back at the Academy to bump into Clive, otherwise known as Director Clavel, who states he's the boss. But hold up, how can you be the big boss of Team Star if you were there doing all of those phone calls, and you sound different too? Eminem is up first and chips away with a couple of crunches, but eventually falls asleep. I switch to Kaminari to finish Oranguru with a big bolt. Next was Abomasnow, so I switch again to Cinder as it sets up the Aurora Veil, but it's still not enough to defend, and we take it down in one. Houndoom was next, and I delay the Aurora Veil whilst chipping with Double Kick. Once the snow stops, we take the dog out. Next was Poltergeist, and we hit one big Flamethrower before falling. I then send out Peekaboo to finish with a Shadow Claw. Amoonguss is next, and we chip with Shadow Claw before the Mushroom puts us to sleep. Thankfully, we get a free switch to Scribbles as Hex is ineffective, leaving only Quackquavel. It terrastallizes to Pure Water, and one huge Aqua Step takes us down. But I'm now able to send out Kaminari once more, eat the Aqua Step, and take it down with a big Thunderbolt. With that said, we've just beaten our Headmaster. I'm not actually the boss. I thought something smelled like cat's ear. We get informed about the big boss being at school after dark. So let's see what Arvin's up to. Oh yeah, I lost the footage. I'm a YouTuber, I know, but here's an edit I put together. Next, we head to school during nightfall to finally come face to face with the big boss of Team Star, Penny. She uses a mixture of cats, dogs, and foxes, so my mice are in for a rough time. Blue Cheese was first up against Umbreon, and we max our attack with Belly Drum, before taking a Psychic and retaliating with Play Rough. Next was Jolteon, and our Blue Cheese melted away, but I'm able to send out Kaminari and max out our special attack ready to sweep away. Draining Kiss, restoring all of our health back and taking it down. But now we can sweep up a serve against Flareon, take down Vaporeon to a major Thunderbolt, followed by Draining Kiss against Leafeon. This leaves only her Sylveon, who terrastallizes to Fairy type. but we spark up one huge bolt and hit hard, leaving it on the brink of death. We take a huge moonblast, but one more bolt is enough to defeat Team Star once and for all. Team Star can continue to exist. What? She told me you would beat them off. How could he do that when he nicked my cheese? After becoming one of the strongest trainers in Paldea, we're finally up against Nemona. She starts with Lycanroc, and after it's setting up with Stealth Rock and busting our disguise, a double Swords Dance and Play Rough gives us an early lead. Next was Orthworm, and we hit hard with Shadow Claw, but Iron Tail connects and takes us down. Blue Cheese comes out, and we manage to take down the bulky worm. Expecting Double Shock from Pawmot, I make the switch to Kaminari, a Draining Kiss restoring my health, but it's still not enough, and we fall. Eminem is next, and we do take down... Oh, for f***'s sake. With our defense thinning out, Cinder is out to take down the bear, and then we switch out for Scribbles when Goodra is on the field. We managed to poison the dragon and just survive Dragon Pulse, taking it down to another jab. The Dunsparce is next, and we couldn't poison the snake, so we fall. Blue Cheese couldn't outspeed, so all that remains is Cinder. I'm really struggling here. We take down the snake thankfully, but the cat gets the best of us, and Tom wins. I think with a little more luck, we should be able to do it.
2 hours later.
Oh, thank God for that. What a joke of a fight. With that said, we just became the strongest trainer in the Paldea region, but there's one more thing we need to step forward to, and that's in Area 0 against the AI Toro. This is the final battle on the run, so final guesses in the comments if you think I'm able to defeat him or not. Iron Morph is up first against Cinder, 2 extra sensories taking it down. Iron Thorns is next, and we continue to chip with extra sensory. Dodge a Stone Age, and we just fall short, so we fall. I then send out Eminem to clean up the mess. Next was Iron Hands, and Drain punches us to the ground. Being even grounds, I then send out Peekaboo and set up with 2 Swords Dances, and just hold on after Iron Head, but we're able to get a critical Play Rough and take it out, followed by Iron Jugulis. Iron Bundle is next and does outspeed, 1 simple Water Pulse finishing us off. But I send out Kaminari whilst he sets up Snowscape to retaliate with an easy Thunderbolt, leaving his ace, Iron Valium. This thing is dangerously strong, but thankfully Static kicks in at the right time, and we just leave it hanging weak. But it fights through Paralysis and takes us out. This is once in a lifetime. Blue Cheese Aqua Tail! That would have been a perfect ending to the tale. Luckily, Scribbles remains standing after 1 poison jab, so we win anyway. You can evolve for all I care. Useless rat. So that's why you're an imposter. With that said, we defeated Toro and defeated everyone's existence with my mouse poison. I thank you all very much for watching. If you did, make sure you leave a like, and for more videos, hit the subscribe button and turn the notifications on. We're aiming for 20k, and we'd love to have you on the side. But thank you all, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!